we are one step closer to the high tunnel being finished, and I wanted to share with you guys what we have finished so far and what we still need to finish for this high tunnel. So we have put on the 2 outer layers right here, and normally this would go all the way down to the bottom, but we have it currently rolled up to kind of let out some of that heat that's been sitting in there. Especially today, it was very hot, and the past couple of days it's been more humid, and this was a more simpler and kind of like an easy setup compared to the setup overall. It did take some time, but it definitely wasn't too difficult for us. This is what the inside of the high tunnel looks like, and I'm going to show you guys something real quick. I'm not sure if I can capture it, but up here there are a bunch of horseflies, and they have decided to make this their home for right now, so we're going to have to figure something out for those. But once we take care of those, it won't be hopefully too much of a problem in the future. I do want to go over that this is a dual layer, and we still have to put in the fans that will go in between the 2 layers, and we still have to do the exhaust fans that we're going to do at the ends of the high tunnel. This high tunnel is 24 by 40, and it's around 13 feet tall. Now, this high tunnel here is a NCRS high tunnel, which means that we are eligible to get a grant for it if we decide to go that route. But now we already have it, we're going to have to figure something out for that. But if you are interested in getting a high tunnel, just look up the NCRS high tunnel and the requirements and everything you need for kind of government grants that will help you out to set up your own high tunnel. Today we had tested the soil with a soil tester, and it gave us the pH in the soil. You can find a soil tester many different places, but where we got ours was on Amazon, and it was for just around $15 to $20 is what they have them, and I think ours was like $16. So if you're interested in testing your own soil, just check that out, and you can find it on Amazon. Here I'm going to show you guys what we have been doing to kind of keep the door in place over here. We have this rod that we pull up, and I just won't pull it up right now, but we pull this rod up and we keep it in this PVC pipe, and then once the door comes over here to shut, we will drop the rod back into these, and that will keep the door in place. In the high tunnel, we plan to sow tomatoes, lettuce, cucumber, eggplant, and a few other things, but mainly tomatoes because we have, like I said before in previous videos, about 300 of tomatoes ready to go, and so that's where a majority of them will be planted. Here we have a bit of our flower garden. If you've missed our previous videos, I'm going to show you guys. For this, we will have the long noodle beans, and they're going to climb up that and dangle from that, and this is kind of going to be a walkway, as you can see. And I'm trying not to step over here because we've already got stuff planted, but I wasn't there for that, so I have no idea what's here. And she has a few things over here like squash. So over there in the triangle that I said I didn't know, I remembered it's just kind of a mix of the flowers, and she's already gotten the long beans down, I think. But I do know right here we have the impatiens and marigolds, kind of like in this strip right here. This is something similar to bugleweed, and it's kind of looking rough. We did have a cold snap, which got really cold. It was I think just a couple weeks ago maybe, and we had to put buckets on everything and prepare for that, and some of it did not do as well, and some of it just did fine throughout the cold snap that we got. But it did end up snowing, which is kind of unique for April. But of course we've also had snow in June and July in Illinois. Right here we have the rose bushes. I'm not sure if you could see that. But behind that we have the gladioles, and then on this panel we have more beans. I think those will be the long beans as well. And then in this patch here we have a large mixture of wildflowers and pretty much anything that could get pretty tough to do cut flowers with. I'll watch my step. And then right here is kind of like a voluntarily squash. It decided to grow up out of nowhere, and I think it's from the... We have our yucca plants here that we kind of transplanted from the neighbor's yard into ours, and of course he knew about it. He gave it to us, and we went ahead and put them down. So they're looking a bit rough right now, and we're hoping that they'll come back. But in this patch here we will have strawberries. This is going to be a strawberry patch. In these spots here, which I'm trying to give you a visual, but we will have a few different tires that we will lay down, and it's going to be full of things like mint, and we have different types of mint, and probably thyme and so forth, things that will be herb related. And down here is the hostas, and then we also have this other plant that I don't think I'm aware of. They had gotten hit. I'm not sure if you can see that. It's purple fountain grass, and everything over here is looking a bit rough. We did shelter it from the cold snap as well as we can, which is basically putting buckets on it and tarping anything that we had to tarp to kind of help protect it from the cold snap. And some of it just, like I said, didn't really work out. We also have peas planted. We're not sure if those will sprout, and I think this is where she plans on, where the tire is where my mother will plan to do kind of like a wishing well type situation with tires, and she's going to stack them up and have plants growing out of them, and so that will be fun. Little piglet. Not really a piglet anymore, but she's being goofy.